how to create your for loop in Java programming. Okay, so first we have here the flowchart of while loop and the for loop. So as you can see in our previous video, okay, the flowchart of our while loop starts with initialization, condition. If the condition is true, you will execute the body of while loop. Then you have to increment and decrement. Then we have here check the condition. So if the condition is still true, you have to execute again the loop body. Then execute the increment, decrement. Then go back to the condition if it is true or false. So if it is false, so you have to end the loop. So same flowchart with our for loop. We have here first is the initialization. Then you have to choose condition if it is true or false. Then execute if the condition is true. Then execute the statements for the body of loop. Next is to execute the increment, decrement. Then go back to the condition. So if the condition is true, so you have to repeat again the statements and the increment, decrement statements in our for loop. Then if you check again the condition, if the condition is false, you have to end the for loop. So the difference here, so in our while loop, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 statements. So in our for loop, simply type the for okay. So the for statement, okay. Then we have here the body. So first is to execute the initialization. So once we convert the while loop statement to for loop, so this one, so you have first is the initialization, then next is the initialization, next is the condition, okay, then next is the increment, decrement. Okay, so next we have here the statements. Okay, so inside the body of our for loop, so we have here the statements. Okay, so in our for loop, so we have the first statement. Okay, so inside the parentheses, we have the initialization separated by a semicolon. Then we have the expression separated by a colon. Then we have here the increment, decrement. Okay, you can also use or you can separate the initialization. Okay, so we will put it above. Okay, then in your for loop, just leave it blank. Okay, so we have here the syntax, no? We converted the syntax of while loop to for loop. How about in our program? So simply, we have here in our while loop source code, I is equal to 1, or simply int I is equal to 1. Then we have here the while, we have here the expression, then we have here the system.out.print, Then we have here the increment decrement, or simply I is equal to plus equal to 1. Okay, so in our for loop, okay, so we have int I is equal to 1. Okay, then we have the expression which is I less than equal to 5. Then the increment decrement, okay, it can be I plus equal to 1 or simply I plus plus. Okay, then we have here the body of the loop, which is to print the I. System.out.print I. Okay, so if we will try this in our BlueJ, so we have to open your BlueJ application. Then you have to create your class, for example, SMP4. Okay. Public class SMP4. Okay. Next, public static void main. String arguments. Okay, then next, so we have here the for loop. For, we have the initialization. We have your counter I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 5. Then we have here the I plus plus. Okay, so system.out.print I. Okay, compile, then run your program. Okay, so the output is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we have here your program. Okay, so your source code is converted to your flowchart, so which is the initialization here, the I is equal to 1, then your condition, which is I less than equal to 5, then print I. Okay, then next we have your counter. Okay, so sample I is equal to 1, so we will simulate the program. So I less than equal to 5 is true, so print I, which is, what is the value of I? 1. Then increment your I. Okay, I now will become 2. Then next, check your condition. If I is 2 less than equal to 5, true, then print your I, which is 2. Then increment your I, increment to 1, so I now will become 3. Check your condition. We have here I, which is 3 less than equal to 5. Okay, so true, then print I, which is 3. Then next, increment your I, which is 4. Then go back to your condition. So I less than equal to 5, I is 4 less than equal to 5 is true. Then execute the body of your loop. So print I. So 4. Then I is equal to I plus 1. So 4 plus 1 is equal now to 5. Then check your condition. So 5 less than equal to 5 is true. Then print I again. I is equal to 5. Then I is less than equal to 1. I is equal to I plus 1. So I now will become 6. Then check your condition. 6 less than equal to 5. So now it is false. So meaning what? Stop. So we'll stop the program. So what is the output of the program? So the output of the program is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then next question. So what is the last value of I? So the last value of I is 6.